Hi, I'm Nick from Bridge City Sessions. I've got my guest Dylan Disaster, and we're doing a video interview. Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. What have you been up to lately?
Uh, Trying to keep sane, man. Working and writing and recording, mostly.
Right on. Is this more for your solo project, or is this full band stuff, or both?
A little bit of everything, actually. I got like right before all this went down, I got myself a new laptop and like a DAW set up, and super excited about it. I've been wanting to get something like that for a while, and so I just made like a spreadsheet of all these songs I want to do, and I've got a couple other projects. So like I made a huge list of songs, and some of them are solo stuff, some of them for some other projects I'm working on too. Some of them are for friends also. Like I've had friends send me lyrics to songs that they didn't have music to, and I'll write a song for them.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of people are more wanting to send their tracks out to have other people finish, since they can't really have full band in the studio. Since this whole pandemic. So you have a couple projects. You have your solo project, and that just called Dylan Disaster?
Dylan Disaster and The Revelry is when I play with the full band.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And are those just, is all of the solo stuff, is that just stripped down full band stuff, or is this just totally different music?
Well, it's mostly stuff from my latest record, and it's full band stuff. I mean, acoustic guitar. I've got acoustic guitar player, lead guitar player. I play rhythm guitar and sing. I got a drummer and a bass player. But we're playing punk rock shows. Like we play a lot of the heavier stuff. And then I also write like solo stuff that's acoustic. So when I play by myself, I can do that kind of stuff too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've always written that way. So like I can have songs to do by myself if no one's around, and then songs I can play with my band because I like playing with a band.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's see. You were supposed to go to Japan this year with the full band, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming the epidemic kind of prevented you from being able to follow through with that.
Yeah, it's been something I've been trying to do for a while. I've done I played Rebellion Fest last year, and then I've toured Germany and Czech Republic quite a bit, and I'm always trying to go to new places. And I got in touch with this booking agency in Japan. We had everything set up, signed a contract. We were going to book some dates, and we were going to go over there in September. And then obviously the world went to hell. So we're going to put it on hold until next year. Hopefully next year we'll be allowed to fly internationally and do tours and stuff. I guess we'll see though, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping this gets lifted soon, but it's also kind of scary to rush out there because, it'd be best to just be safe and wait it out so we don't have to worry about this, coming back.
Yeah, it's a little hard though. I know people are anxious, and people in like our field, like we like playing music, and you like doing your thing and working with bands and stuff. It's hard to not do that right now.
Yeah, no, we're super anxious, and we're hoping by next month we can at least start accepting some sessions, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Who knows?
Yeah, no way to know for sure right now. It's a weird spot to be in. So while we're on the topic of quarantine, you said you were doing some writing for everything. Any other projects or anything else you've been doing, like around the house?
I mean, not really, man. I've been working still. Like the restaurant I work at's been open since the beginning. So like I'll basically go to work and I'll come home, make a pot of coffee, and I'll just start recording right away. And like I've just been working on tunes a lot, and that's kind of it. I've just been hunkering down and working on tunes and doing some reading. I was reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Wait, it's called Restaurant at the End of the Universe, the second one.
Ah, gotcha.
Have you read that series before?
Oh, I haven't. I haven't even heard of it. But I'll check it out. That'll be cool. Maybe you'll have to link me or something because I have a hard time remembering things.
Classic nerdy sci-fi series, Douglas Adams. It's cool. I like it. We have a little book club at my job.
Yeah.
So we're reading Hitchhiker's Guide.
Have you been getting into any like TV series or any like new movies lately? I've been trying to catch up on stuff.
What have we been watching? Kind of watching old stuff. We've been rewatching 30 Rock. You've seen
Right
30
on.
Rock? It was on Amazon, so we got into that. Um, what else have we been watching? We were watching Dead to Me. What We Do in the Shadows is probably our favorite thing to be watching right now. Have you seen that one? Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement.
I haven't. I typically don't get into TV too much because I'm just so busy, with printing and sessions and just, doing all that stuff and, being a dad that I don't get to. But
It's time consuming.
yeah, but lately, I want to say the most recent show that I just got into was Ozark, and I finished all three seasons like within like a 2 week span, and I just loved it. But um,
My roommate was super into that, trying to tell me to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet.
yeah, it's kind of when you think about Jason Bateman and being a serious show, it's kind of throws you off a little bit, but he actually did really good. And I think the cast is like really well done. And
Yeah,
I was really surprised. It only took me like 1 or 2 episodes and I was already hooked. So
hooked. I'm a
yeah.
binger, man. Like if I start a show that I like, I'll watch it in like 4 days.
Oh, totally. I'm the same way. I was like that with like Breaking Bad. I was just like binge watching that for weeks and just,
Yeah, it's
I just,
bad.
yeah.
We did
But
watch. We watched Paul. You ever seen Paul with Jason Bateman in it?
no, I haven't. Is that a newer show or?
It's a movie with it's
Oh,
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, where this alien comes down and they rescue this alien. Seth Rogen is the voice of the alien. Jason Bateman is trying to capture him. It's an
oh
awesome
man.
movie.
Yeah, no, I'll have to check that out.
It's a good one.
I've seen, quite a bit of Arrested Development, but I haven't really seen him in a whole lot.
Yeah, me either, really.
Yeah. So, so I want to talk about your latest album, Remission. It came out last August,
Yeah,
and you put out a single called Milestone.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, the record was, I think when I come to see you on my tour a couple years ago, I was a few months away from putting out the record. I don't remember when that tour was. I think it might have been summertime.
Yeah.
Um, and I just been working on that record for like 3 years, man. And it was a big record for me because I'd worked so hard on it and spent so much time and really pacing myself with it. And then, it was really great to put it out. I put it out on Stars at Night, which is run by Ron and Brady from Despero,
Yeah.
who you know. They helped me put it out, and a label in Germany helped me put it out, Ring of Fire Records. And it's been good, man. I've gotten a lot of great reception from it, positive feedback. A lot of people are, something that we talked about is just like mental health wise. The record for me was like about dealing with struggles like that and kind of trying to rise above, And that single in particular is about like falling down a rabbit hole of like, just, when you think everything's all right and then spiraling out of control out of nowhere and you kind of trying to pick yourself back up. And that's kind of what the record's about.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
there anything in particular that kind of set you off on that path to kind of make that record? Or is it?
Um, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But it was something I've struggled with like on and off for, I probably, since I was a teenager, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there was like a thing that happened. I don't want to get too into that, but a thing happened, and then like I don't know, it kind of just sent me off the rails, and it was really hard for me to like pull myself back together. Because normally when I would derail like that, I'd be able to like get myself back on track. But
Yeah.
this was something else, and like it was real hard for me to get myself back together. But writing music always kind of helped me stay on path, and it brought me back, man. That's why it's called Remission.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what is your basic like songwriting process like? So do you just sit down with an acoustic, or do you sit down with the band, and how is the process like for the record?
For that record,
Yeah.
that record was, I mean, it was it was unique because I was writing everything by myself, and then I was showing it to the guys that I wanted to work with to play drums and bass and stuff. Um, and then we would kind of map it out a little bit, and we do some pre-production and we demo things out, and then we move on to another group of songs, kind of the same way. And it would just go like that until I felt like we were ready, and then we went to the studio and recorded everything all in one shot. After I drilled them for like a year and a half of these songs, like 12 songs, just like we got to get these songs right, and it needed to be a certain way for me. And now it's a little different. I mean, every song's different. Inspiration comes and goes, you know. But like for me, it's just like sometimes I'll have an idea for a vocal melody, or sometimes I'll have a song title or even a chorus line, and I'll just start there and then kind of build around that. And with this new recording setup I have, it's been so helpful just to be able to demo everything out. Like I can record that vocal melody and then like play a guitar riff around it, and then, you know, kind of just work from there and really build a song from like one idea instead of just trying to like grasp for pieces here and there and, I don't know, kind of winging it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool how easy it is. You know, you can buy a Focusrite, you know, interface for like $200 or something like that, and just hook it to your computer, which, I mean, computers are cheap these days to just run in. And then you can get Reaper for free, and
That's
there
what I'm
you go.
using.
Yep, that's what we use at the studio.
Reaper's dope, man.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I've also been using Easy Drummer. Have you heard of that?
So I have been interested to start programming my own drums, but I haven't really gotten into it. Like I have some of the programs, I just haven't really gotten into it yet. But is Easy Drummer pretty easy to use?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the title. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. Like it sounds great. And you know, I don't know how much you know about it, but you can buy like expansion packs. So like they'll have different sounding kits. Like they'll have a reggae kit, a punk rock kit, or a metal kit, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I went and bought the pop punk kit because it was all the sounds were produced by John Feldman. So he's got this super tight sounding fucking drum kit that you and then got some grooves too. But then you can kind of program your own drums with that drum kit, and it sounds great, man. And they have like fills you can just drop in there, and it makes it really easy to like kind of feel out your idea for a song.
Totally.
You know? Yeah, because I can play like a guitar riff I have, and then just plug in some drums or whatever really easy with that sound, and then I'll get me excited about figuring out a new part or give me an idea for the next part for the song.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty great.
Kind of where I'm at right now, just trying to get back into songwriting myself. Is I'll just like find these like drum tracks on YouTube, and it'll just be like, you know, just some random thing like metal drums, you know, and then the BPM or something. But it's just like, it's been fun to just play to something else because I don't have the option to just invite a drummer over. And and I'm not too savvy with programming drums, so I'll have to check out Easy Drummer. And
it's pretty awesome, man, and it's easy. I'm the same way. Like I can tell a drummer what to do, but it'll never be exactly what I want. And like it's just great for kind of showing your band what you want to do, or even just writing by yourself.
Yeah, just like basic template.
Yeah, it's pretty killer.
Right on. Is that a pricey thing, or is it?
How much did I pay for it? I think it was like $130 maybe for Easy Drummer, like itself, and then like another $60 for like that kit that I wanted, the pop punk kit.
Gotcha.
So it's not too bad.
Cool.
I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. Because I'm not a great drummer myself. I can't I could play drums, I guess, but like I can't do the shit this thing can.
Yeah. So we talked about the last record, but you're also working on a new record?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm working on a few different things, but it's kind of weird how these things just take shape out of nowhere. Like I've had a group of songs I've been working on for a little while, and then once I started like really demoing them out on this with Reaper, they started taking shape, and I kind of see how it's going to be like one cohesive unit.
Hmm.
And that's kind of how I like to write or, record my records, is like one piece. It's never really like a collection of songs for me. It's all like, it needs to be like one big thing for me. So, yeah, and it's a little different too, because I'm playing with a different group of guys this time around. The only guy from the first record is my bass player. But I have this dude, Will, who's an amazing drummer. He
Hmm.
plays for Despero, but he wasn't there when Despero was out there. He was supposed to be there on this tour that recently was supposed to happen with Despero. Will's a great drummer. I'm playing with Josh Langford, who plays in Starving Wolves.
Yeah.
He's my lead guitar player. My buddy Guido is a acoustic guitar player. He plays in Hudson Falcons and Three's Away. And Austin Mitchell, who's in a band called Puppy Cat. You should check out Puppy Cat, dude. They're a badass band.
I like it.
Yeah, they just put out a record like maybe 3 days ago, man. If you're looking for new music, it's on Spotify. Puppy Cat is fucking rad.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all I've been doing lately is just trying to find new music because I'm just at the studio all day, and while I'm doing stuff, I just want to play music, and I just get tired of my normal go-tos, so I'll just
Yeah,
play
of
something
course.
out like every single day.
Of course. I'm the same way, man. I'll listen to a record on repeat for fucking months. I'm bad about it.
Is there anything lately that you've been just can't get enough of?
Um, well, I really, really like the new Despero record. I've mentioned them a few times, but their new
Yeah.
record's fucking killer.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I've really been listening to a lot of um, like lo-fi instrumental, like hip hop stuff. Like because
Mhm.
I listen to it at work a lot, and I just need like I work in the morning, so I need chill vibes. So like I just put on like chill instrumental stuff.
Oh, totally. I'm right there with you. I've just been on nothing but like, it's funny that you say that you're on that chill vibe because I'm on that same, like I've been listening to like, let's see, Brother Tiger. We had him in for a session, but he's from New York. Just totally, the genre's chill wave, I guess. And
Okay,
it's just like, it's just really like, yeah, it's just really chill music. It's all, it's got like kind of like a almost like an 80s feel, but
cool.
just like a lot of like really good samples that you would kind of hear from like some really good classic songs. So it's got some familiar tones to it.
Blood
And
Tiger,
Brother Tiger.
Brother Tiger. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. And
cool,
he did a session with us. So you'll have to check that out too.
sweet.
But I'm kind of a sucker for stuff like I like the new Post Malone. I even like the new Justin Bieber's got some good
Yeah.
songs on it. I like let's see, Joji. He's got some kind of like lo-fi, just really chill stuff. But Finster is the one that gives me all these recommendations, so
Oh
I'll have
yeah.
to I'll have to blame him for all these guilty pleasures here.
I
But
like that stuff. I've been listening to a band called the Budos Band. You ever heard of them?
no,
They're like this. I don't know how long they've been around. I didn't like dive into their background, but they're like this instrumental, like funk band almost. But like it's also not really funk. It's just I don't know. It's really rad, and it almost sounds like it's something you would hear in like a, a '70s movie. I guess it's kind of like funk, but it's really cool, and it's also really chill at the same time. And this
yeah,
dude Ernest Ranglin, I've been listening to also. He's like jazz and like a reggae fusion dude or whatever. But he
yeah.
does like instrumental covers of songs like fuck, what did he do? He does that one song. It's like a '90s song. I can't think of it. Here I am. Fuck, I don't know what it is.
It's a
I can't.
'90s song.
Yeah. I can't think of it. It's because I'm trying to think of it. It'll come to me later. But Ernest
Yeah.
Ranglin, he does these cool like instrumental reggae stuff. It's real chill, like easy listening stuff in the morning.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And speaking
yeah,
of that
man.
stuff too, like that's another thing I've kind of been doing in this quarantine. Like I've got like some, I've been taking some Udemy courses, and I've been messing with Fruity Loops too. Like I kind of want to learn how to make some beats and like do
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like why not? Like just make some cool beats, some shit that I can listen to and enjoy.
Yeah. Some of my favorite artists that just like have these amazing beats. When I sit down and listen to it, it's just the way that they're layered. It's not that it's super complex. It's
Yeah.
just it's layered in just a way where it's just like a band. You know, you add your two guitars and your bass and
Hmm.
drums, and you know, being a musician, I can kind of relate to that whole thing. And you know, one of these days when I get a MIDI keyboard or something that I can easily, like a little drum
Yeah.
pad or something. Uh,
I got this Alesis right here.
right on. Yeah, I have this. I found some. There's been this like keyboard laying around the studio, and I'm trying to have Chris help me set it up, but I don't have it figured out yet. So we'll see if it even works. But if not, I'll just order one. And I think that might be helpful for. Can you use those like with your Easy Drummer program? Like,
Yeah, plug it right in, and then you can. They got this cool feature. You can plug in your MIDI keyboard, and you can play a beat like on the kick and snare with the pads or whatever,
yeah,
as close as you can to what you want it to sound like, and it'll quantize it, and then it'll find the closest groove they have in their library to that beat that you were playing, and then they'll give
gotcha.
it to you, and you can use their beat. And normally, their beat is better than what I can
Yeah,
do. It's
yeah.
like
Well, it's
super tight,
probably
like tight
yeah
fucking punk rock drums.
in time and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it like if you start with the kick and snare, does it like add the hi hats and stuff for you, or do you like
That's
individually?
another thing you can do too. Like you can do the kick and snare, and then they have like a, what's it called? Uh, Play style editor. So
Mm,
you can plug that into that play style editor, the kick and snare, and then you can click on the different instruments you want. And then they have like a mount knob, so you can turn it up. Like you want hi-hat, like four hi-hats or every eighths, hi-hat on eighths or sixteenths or whatever, and it'll just plug it into the beat that you made.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I'll have to send you some of the stuff that I did so you could see what it's capable of doing.
totally. And yeah, I'm gonna look some stuff up on YouTube too because I just feel like anytime I question anything, I just like go right to YouTube and start looking up videos and
Yeah,
seeing what people do.
it's funny. I had like I was debating it, and when I make purchases of any kind, I'll think about it for weeks. And so I had like this Easy Drummer Tune Track website pulled up on my laptop for like 2 weeks, and I was just staring at this Easy Drummer program, like, God damn it, I want to buy this fucking thing. And
Yeah,
then one day I was like, I'm gonna do it, and it was totally worth it.
totally. I do that all the time. I have like these projects where I just every day I'll be like, you know, like working out or something, and I'll look at this project that's just been like needing to get done, and I'm like, all right, I got the wood, and I've got the saw, and I've got the table, everything's out, and like ready to do it, but like, do I want to do this today? I just like it's hard to convince myself to do certain projects because I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, being
What is
in
that?
like being in quarantine, it's been really weird for me because like I have all this time to get stuff done, but also being in isolation is kind of like depressing.
Yeah.
And so it's like kind of messing with me. And so like I'm procrastinating on stuff even though I have time to do it. And
Hmm.
it's kind of putting me in a weird spot. Has that been kind of happening to you at all? Have you been noticing anything?
Not really. I mean, the last couple of days have been rough. I had a back injury like on Sunday, so I've been laid up, and like I get bummed when I'm not doing stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm a pretty active dude, but like I said, I've been working every day pretty much, and then I come home and I record. So like my life hasn't really changed too much. I mean, some things are a
Yeah.
little different, a little weirder, but like I'm still kind of going, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but I've seen how it's affected some other people, like roommates and stuff. Like they're just sitting around and bumming out about it, you know, and friends and stuff too. But
Yeah.
you know, you see people post about it like this is like it's an opportunity, but I can see it's an opportunity to be creative and productive. But like you said, it's difficult. You know, you're isolated, you're by yourself, or with two people, three people, however many people you live with, and that could take its toll on you for sure,
Yeah.
and then drain your motivation. You know.
So you're living in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been like? So we originally met. You were in Portland practicing in a band, I think called Weight of Atlas, and I was using your same drummer. Am I wrong? What is the name of the band?
I wasn't in a band.
You weren't in the band?
No, I was trying to play with Skinny,
Uh
and
huh.
I know that you and Skinny and a couple other dudes had some band going on.
Uh huh.
I don't remember what it was called, um, but I think I met you through Skinny because you guys were working on something,
Gotcha.
and then yeah, I wasn't in any bands. I was like
Okay.
Portland was rough for me. Like I was I was homeless for sure, and just trying to get on my feet. I didn't really know anybody, and yeah, and I was hanging out with Skinny, and then you guys came along, and I tried out for your band, but I definitely wasn't good enough. I
What
was
what were you? I can't. It's man. I'm trying to think about this stuff like because it was so long ago. Like I felt like I was a baby then. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, I mean, I was just about to say I was super green, man. Like I didn't know fuck about the world. Like I was super green, like, and I was very much on my own out there, which is why I was homeless and I couldn't. I was failing miserably at life, uh, but I bounced back. I wound up buying that school bus, and then I had a good friend out there who set me up with a place to live and a job.
that's right. So I remember. So you were practicing with Skinny,
Mhm.
and then we met and kind of tossed music back and forth to try out, and then you ended up coming over to hang out at my house, and you pulled up in this big school bus,
Yeah,
and like we went driving around town, and I want to say you had a radio even, and
yeah,
you.
yeah, we did. A little
So
PA speaker.
is that were you living in that, or was that like your ride for a minute, or?
Well, I mean, at first, like I said, I was homeless and I was like sleeping on rooftops and shit. And then I met this dude, Scott, who hooked me up with a job and a place to live. And then I saved up money to buy the school bus. Well, me and my brother and a friend, my brother was at tattoo school and my other friend was in LA. They sent me money. I bought a school bus and yeah, I was living in the school bus for a little while. And kind of bouncing around Portland until it was time to leave. And then I headed down to LA to pick up my buddy, and my brother flew out there. And then hung out in LA for a bit, and we came to Austin. And I've been
Awesome.
here ever since, pretty much.
Where did you live before Portland?
I was in LA
Oh,
again.
okay.
I was
Gotcha.
also in New York for the summer. And
Oh,
then
okay.
I spent a little bit of time in North Carolina.
Wow. So you just bounce all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, that's what your 20s are for, right? I mean, I was just
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It took a
Yeah.
while. To be
Well,
fair, I guess I still am figuring it out, but I got a better hold on things now than I did back then.
yeah. How are you liking things in Texas? Is that just does that feel like home now that you've been there for a while?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've been here for over a decade. Austin just treated me really well. As soon as I got to Austin, I made, I don't know, a plethora of friends, like more friends in Austin than I had like in all the states I lived in combined around the country. And like, it just felt good. And I had a really great opportunity to play some music, and I started meeting more musicians. And like I said, I was kind of failing in Portland, like trying to start a band, and same thing in LA. And then things just started happening in Austin. I started this band called Revenants that did really well. Turned into another band called Buried Cities, and then eventually I started playing with this band called Nowhere Bound, and we were touring in Germany. And then I don't know, and then I started doing my solo stuff. I've always been doing my solo stuff, but started doing it more regularly, and now it's kind
Yeah,
of in the foreground. So Austin just gave me a lot of opportunity, and it treated me well, so I stuck it out.
that's awesome. So do you mainly just focus on your solo and your other like you're not in any of those other side projects anymore?
No, not really. I mean, yes, my solo project is my main thing. It's just like it's my baby, you know, and it's it just grants a lot of creative freedom. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like
Yeah.
just I can design my shirts however I want to. I could say we're playing this show, we can go on this tour, and I can
Yeah.
make a record sound however I want to, and whatever I want to do. And I kind of need that in my life, you know.
Yeah, it's
Um,
kind of nice to be in charge sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, and one of my other bands, I was kind of doing everything anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll just fucking do it all myself. And
Yeah.
so I did that, and it just creates a lot more freedom. And then, but then I have other bands that I could play in where like I'm just playing guitar, or I'm just singing, or just playing drums. So this way I can just do that, and it's a lot of fun. I don't really have to think about anything. Like I have almost no say in it at all, except just show up and play the guitar and scream into the microphone every now and then. I'm like, cool, I can do that too. So it doesn't really require too much of my time or effort, but I still have a really great time because I get to play with my friends, you know?
Do you have any plans after quarantine, or like anything coming up that you're excited about?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, don't really know when all this is going to come to an end. I was mostly banking on going to Japan and at the, in September. And then I was going to take some time off to save to do a new record, probably record maybe springtime this time next year or something. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I think me and the dudes are going to start demoing out with the full band and everybody learning their new parts for new record, and just keep writing. Really, that's kind of, I feel like that's the best thing I can do right now. Just keep writing, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, just gotta stay busy and try to stay positive. So, I mean, it's basically all we can do right now.
Yeah, creativity helps with that. I mean, it's an outlet for sure.
I'm looking at your background. I'm noticing your paint. So you got a green door, and then it fades into a red wall. Is that like something you did intentionally, or what happened there?
No, it's funny that you mentioned the background. I wasn't sure if you were going to notice this at all, because my girlfriend and I are actually staying in an Airbnb for this month.
Oh, okay.
And the Airbnb is Star Wars themed.
Oh, okay.
So we're in this Star Wars themed house. Like there's Darth Vader curtains over here. There's a whole glass case of like action figures, Star Wars stuff over here. The whole house is just Star Wars themed. So it's funny that you noticed just the wall over there. But right by that wall, this little thing, it says, it's a picture of Luke and Leia and C-3PO. It's first
Yeah,
aid kit inside.
I can kind of see like in the reflection too, like
yeah.
I can.
It's Darth.
Yeah, I can see it. That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. We got to spend May 4th here, which was pretty cool. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a Star Wars nerd. I'm not really, but
Not a nerd, but I definitely like. I stay current enough to understand, most of the Star Wars memes and whatnot. But
yeah, it doesn't do much for me, but whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about I just relate to things more that are real, and like things that are more like just drama or just I don't know. Those things appeal to me way more. And a lot of the CGI stuff, it's so unbelievable sometimes that I'm just
totally.
It's just like just kind of desensitized to it.
I feel that. I like more like more real stuff too. We watched this show called Banshee, which is pretty awesome. It's on Amazon Prime right now. I think it's ended in 2013 or something, but the basic premise is like about this ex-jewel thief who assumes the identity of the sheriff in this town called Banshee, Pennsylvania, and just insanity ensues. It's a really good show.
I have to check it out. Is that like a newer thing?
No, I think it's been over since I think it ended like 2013. They had like 4 seasons maybe. It's good though. It was we rewatched that also recently.
Awesome. Yeah, last night I watched Ace Ventura, the first one.
Nice.
And man, I was like sitting in here just like laughing to myself, and I'm just like laughing out loud. Like just some of those lines in that movie are just like so ridiculous. Like Jim Carrey, I swear, was like one of my favorite comedians growing up.
Yeah, I think my all-time favorite Jim Carrey movie is Cable Guy.
Oh, definitely. I think I watched Jim Carrey, Cable Guy, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura, like simultaneously, like as a kid, like over and over. I loved all 3 of those movies.
And Me, Myself, and Irene is really good too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Underrated.
definitely. He's got some classics.
Yeah,
What was that? Liar, Liar was
of
a good
course.
one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, love Jim Carrey. Uh, I also caught. Well, I didn't finish it, but I was watching this documentary on Daryl Hammond from Saturday Night Live,
Okay.
and yeah, there's like a lot of interesting stuff. Like, uh, you don't really notice, everything about somebody's life just by watching one TV show. So, kind of learning about his life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that happened to him, and just being able to see like all of his impressions all consolidated into one documentary was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I do like some documentary series. I've been watching that Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know if you're ever a wrestling fan, but that's a pretty good series that's on right now.
There's like documentaries where like I wouldn't typically watch. Like, it might be a documentary about something that I don't even really pay attention to, but if it's well done,
Dark Side of the Ring is good, man. It's just like, it's about pro wrestling and all
yeah.
these like darker stories that happen like in the past or whatever,
I
behind
mean,
the scenes and stuff. It's good.
I remember like WWE and WWF growing up, and just my brother always loving it, and I was like, dude, why are you watching this? Like, how do you get into this dialogue? This stuff is just like so ridiculous. I cannot get into it, but I can totally see watching this Dark Side of the Ring, because although that stuff was pretty ridiculous to watch, I'm sure behind the scenes there was just like a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, they're real dudes, and like, they're basically like male divas, So
Yeah,
a lot of drama and all kinds of crazy shit that you probably wouldn't think was going on.
yeah, I would totally watch that, so I'll have to check it out.
It's on YouTube.
Right on. All right. Well, I figure, now's the time if you want to tell your fans where they can buy your merch and where to find your music and all that great stuff. I'll also add it in the description when we post this.
Cool. I'm all over the internet. I'm working on setting up my merch store right now on Bandcamp because they've been doing like that monthly thing where they're not collecting any revenue for sales. So I'm trying to get my merch store up for Bandcamp by June 1st. DylanDisaster.com, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. I'm pretty much everywhere. My album's free to stream on Spotify. It's free to stream on my website, DylanDisaster.com. And I got my first record on there too. So pretty much anywhere you look on the internet, you put in Dylan Disaster, you can find me. There is one other Dylan Disaster in the world. He's like a 17-year-old photographer. I don't know where he lives, but if you see him, that's not me. He can have it, but it's not me.
Awesome. Well, it was great chatting with you, and
yeah, man.
I can't wait until this is all over, because I'd love to have you back and do another session. It's been a couple years, and
yeah,
things have changed for us. So yeah, we'll have to do a part 2 pretty soon.
Yeah, I'd like to bring the full band up there.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Well, thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll be in touch, and yeah, looking forward to when we put this interview out. We're going to be posting your session as well the same week. So
Cool.
We'll put your session out on the Monday, and then this interview will be that following Friday.
Awesome,
So
man.
I'll be in touch.
Sounds great, man.
All right, dude. Well, you take care, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, later.